If you see one title talking about specific terms, you start thinking, well, maybe this is a research. If you see one image with a play button on it, you imagine that this is a video. If you see one book and the book is big, you imagine this book is for kids. By checking the signs, by checking the language, by checking the way the text is presented, we have an idea of what the text is about.
Hello, my friend, how are you doing? It's so good to see you here. Welcome back. Today, we're going to explore reading strategies to understand the target audience of that text, the subject of that text, and our reference to spot the target audience, to know the subject, to understand the goal of that text. Our reference will be the structure of each material, the layout, the images, the titles, the subtitles. By analyzing these structures, these different components, we're going to understand the topic of that text. Please, my friend, if you can, isolate distractions. Right now, my cell phone is on airplane mode. Now I'm 100% with you, dedicated to your growth. If you can, please isolate distractions. Close the window, close the door. Leave your cell phone away while you are studying. If you are watching our class from your cell phone, try to isolate notifications. Because with more attention, you acquire the knowledge more easily. Let me have some water. I'm thirsty already. Can you believe it? Would you like some water? Yeah? Okay. This is for you. Please have your water after class. Hydrate yourself. Water is the source of life, my friend. I'll start this class reading part of this book here to you. And we start our analysis right now. The book is saying, Public Speaking for Success. All right. By the title of the book, what is the subject of this book? Exactly. The book is related to public speaking. Now, what is the target audience for this book here? Well, I imagine the target audience for this book is executives, people who want to improve their public speaking, people who want to grow in their career, because they wrote here, public speaking for success, right? And here they highlight the name of the writer, Dale Carnegie. And we know, let me rephrase that. People who like to read self-development books will probably recognize this name here, Dale Carnegie, because this guy here is the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. This Dale Carnegie is a reference for self-development. Enjoy one video, one class about it. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend, how are you doing? Essa é a nossa última aula estudando essa obra clássica de Dale Carnegie. E ele diz aqui no último tópico, faça as pessoas sentirem-se satisfeitas fazendo o que você sugere. E aí, ele dá direcionamentos. Seja sincero, não prometa nada que não possa cumprir. Esqueça-se dos benefícios a seu próprio favor e concentre-se nos benefícios das outras pessoas. Saiba exatamente o que você deseja que a outra pessoa faça. Seja simpático. Pergunte a si mesmo o que a outra pessoa realmente quer. Reflita sobre os benefícios que a outra pessoa receberá fazendo o que você sugere. Faça com que esses benefícios venham ao encontro dos desejos da outra pessoa. É ingenuidade acreditar que as pessoas reagirão sempre favoravelmente a essas abordagens, mas a experiência mostra que com esses princípios é possível mudar mais atitudes. E se você aumentar a sua probabilidade de sucesso em apenas 10%, você se tornará 10% mais eficiente como pessoa, como líder, como familiar, como companheiro de trabalho. E esse será o seu benefício. Portanto, princípio 9. Faça a outra pessoa sentir-se feliz realizando aquilo que você sugere. Aqui nós terminamos Dale Carnegie, Como Fazer Amigos e Influenciar Pessoas.
Yes, I just love this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. We have a whole study of this book at voceaprendeagora.com. All right, so by the cover and by the title, we understand the target audience, we understand the topic of this book. And I'll read to you page 223. It is a note and true maxim that a drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. What is he saying here? He's using this metaphor to teach us that kindness convinces much more than aggressiveness. With a little bit of kindness, we have more results than a big amount of inappropriate communication. And here, he presents a speech given by Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was a senator for the state of Illinois in the United States of America. And during his period of presidency, he had to face a civil war. A war in the United States among the populations from the north and the south. It was very hard. And he had the talent, the ability to deal with that situation. And in this situation here, he had to communicate with people who were armed with guns, with knives, people who were aggressive and ready to fight. And he said, "Fellow citizens of Southern Illinois, fellow citizens of the state of Kentucky, fellow citizens of Missouri, I am told there are some of you here present who would like to make trouble for me. I don't understand why they should. I am a plain, common man like the rest of you. And why should I not have as good a right to speak my sentiments as the rest of you? Why, good friends, I am one of you. I am not an interloper here. I was born in Kentucky and raised in Illinois, just like the most of you, and worked my way along by hard scratching. I know the people of Kentucky, and I know the people of Southern Illinois, and I think I know the Missourians. I am one of them, and therefore ought to know them. And they ought to know me better, and if they did know me better, they would know that I am not disposed to make them trouble. Then why should they, or any one of them, want to make trouble for me? Don't do any such foolish thing, fellow citizens. Let us be friends and treat each other like friends. I am one of the humblest and most peaceful men in the world, would wrong no man, would interfere with no man's rights. And all I ask is that, having something to say, you give me a decent hearing. And being Illinoisans, Kentuckians, and Missourians, brave and gallant people, I feel sure that you will do that. And now, let us reason together, like the honest fellows we are." As he spoke these words, his face was the very picture of good nature, and his voice vibrated with sympathetic earnestness. That tactful opening calmed the oncoming storm and silenced his enemies. In fact, it transformed many of them into friends. They cheered his speech, and later, those aggressive people were among his most ardent supporters for the presidency. And then you might think, Felipe, this was the speech of a president. How can I compare him to my life? Oh, you can compare it for sure, because you communicate yourself every day. You express your feelings every day. You have your dreams. You have your intentions. And when you communicate assertively, you get closer to your goals. When I talk about Abraham Lincoln, I feel the necessity to take you to Washington, D.C., to see him closer, to enjoy his presence. Let's go there. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. This is the Washington Monument. And if you walk there, you have the Lincoln Memorial. Do you remember the Forrest Gump speech?
My name is Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump! Exactly where Martin Luther King shared his words, saying, I have a dream.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today
Let's walk there. Hello, my friend. Here we are, Abraham Lincoln. We walked from Washington Memorial until here. And Abraham Lincoln is up there, sat down in peace. You can't see him from here, but I can run and show you him.
Before I got there, so
There he is. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people for whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. Say hello to Você Aprende Agora students, Lincoln. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Yes, it's good to have the feeling of the place. Now, my friend, let's warm up. Let's warm up. And this exercise we do every class, the stretching, the breathing exercises, increase your capacity to understand better what we're talking here and to memorize, to improve your memory after we finish the class, okay? So, trust me, these things are useful. And we prepare every second of this class to offer you the best learning experience. You will have fun and you will grow. You will improve your capacity to learn and apply the knowledge later. Let's go. Move your shoulders. Move your shoulders. Move your neck to the left and to the right. Left and right. Left and right. Open and close your hands, please. Open, close. Open, close. Open, close. Yes. Yes. If you follow me in one exercise, I'm happy. Let's go. Now, we're going to extend our legs, okay? Extend our legs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other leg, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Okay. Now we're going to run. We're going to do this movement here. Let's go. As if we were running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now keep the movement, and we're going to speed up, okay? We're going to accelerate. For 10 seconds, only 10 seconds, okay? You are going to accelerate for 10 seconds. Let's go. Speed up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, relax. Relax. Release your shoulders, release the joints of your elbows. Move your neck. And now let's stretch up. As always, cross your fingers. Stretch up, up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now look up. Look up and open your chest. Open your chest. Look up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Now please, stable position, and we're going to breathe in, hold, and we breathe out. When you breathe out, relax the muscles of your face. Relax the tension of your shoulders, okay? Here we go. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Once more, please. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. All right. Okay. Let's evaluate these texts. Let's see the context. Let's see the covers, the images, the titles, the subtitles. Let's understand the target audience for each text. Before we start, I ask you, are you prepared? Yes or no? Tell me. Yeah, you're not alone. Remember that. You're not alone. Remember that. Keep that in mind. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Let's understand the target audience of texts. Let's understand the goal of texts. Everything we see and we read has a purpose behind it. When we build this class, we use texts with a purpose. When I translate everything you see here, I translate it with a purpose. When we use the images with the texts, we do it with a purpose. Who is our target audience? You. Exactly, you. You are our target audience. You are the person we need to engage, and we need to explain in a clear way, so then you improve your English. So then you understand what we're talking about. We'll travel back to the United States right now, and please pay attention to these videos. Pay attention. To the context. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Dá uma olhada naquele recado ali, ó. Por favor, pague su tarifa antes de ir. Si no pagas la tarifa, Metro Transit Police te podría dar una multa. E aí eu te pergunto, por que será que o aviso para pagar a tarifa tá logo em espanhol?
Respect the president, please. I heard a legend that on the back of his hair you can see the face of the guy who made this sculpture. I think it's not from this side that you can see. Well, let me turn around. Can you see the face of someone on the back of the hair? I think I can see. This is the nose and the eye. Here from the Lincoln Memorial, let's read his speech and have a very fast reading class. Here we go.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Those are Abraham Lincoln's words. What are their main message? Tell me, 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Now tell me, when we were going to Lincoln Memorial, we were using a means of transportation. Were we using the bus, the metro, or the car? Okay. There was a sign saying, "Pay your ride." What was the target audience of that sign? Exactly. It was written in Spanish. It was made, tailored for Spanish speakers. And we can imagine why they were displaying that warning. Why? Probably because the Latins were not paying their rights, unfortunately. Then we came to Lincoln Memorial. What was the position of Lincoln? Was he standing up or sat down? Is Lincoln's hair curly or straight? Okay. Now about Lincoln's speech. What was his goal with his speech? Comment your answers here. The more you participate, the more opportunities you have. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. We're analyzing different texts in different contexts. And we're understanding the target audience. We're understanding the goal of each text. Every text has a purpose. Every text is written for a specific audience with a specific goal. Be sure of that. When we write something, we write with a purpose, right? When I write all my notes here, I write them with a purpose. These are my notes for this class. I write them in order to follow a sequence with you. Now I'm gonna, one moment, let me just write here on the board the title of this class. Reading Strategies. How to identify target audience, how to identify the purpose of the text, how to identify the content of the text. And we see this. We identify the target audience, we identify the purpose, we identify the content when we pay attention to the structure. When we pay attention to the structure of the text, we understand better the message. When we pay attention to keywords, when we pay attention to titles, when you pay attention to the subtitles of our classes, you understand 100% of what I'm talking to you because you read in Portuguese. I'm gonna show you a picture that I took in Texas, USA. This picture here. See this picture in the image. This photo I took at the entrance of a steakhouse in Mexico. The name of the restaurant is Mary's Barbecue. By the name of the restaurant, I ask you, what do they serve at Mary's Barbecue? You tell me, come on, Felipe, this is obvious. It's obvious when we pay attention. But if we walk like, we're paying attention. So we know that at the Mary's barbecue, they serve barbecue. They're famous for their brisket. And we went there. And at the entrance, there was this sign. Barbecue is not merely necessary to life. It is life. Now, what is the target audience of this message? Of course, the target audience is meat lovers, barbecue lovers. And when we see the colors, we identify the colors of meat, the colors of barbecue, the colors of coal. And we see here, we see a cow here. We understand that they serve red meat. And we have here the Mary's barbecue since 1964. What do they want to show us with this since 1964? They want to show us that they are traditional. They want to show us that they have resisted years in business, in the market. Now let's watch a video and you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Pay attention to this.
Hello, my friend. Bora pelo contexto. Como você traduz essa placa? Não precisa ser a tradução literal. Só me diz o que você entende quando você vê essa placa.
You don't need to understand English to understand that this sign here, when you read something in red, caution. I don't know what this word means, but I think it's something related to pay attention. I think it's something related to be careful. And I don't know what wet floor means, but when I see the image of this little boy inside this triangle like this, when I see this little boy like this, I understand that the floor is slippery. Oh yeah, for sure. Now let's enjoy a song. You know this, I think you know this song. It's called Stand By Me. Pay attention to the lyrics. See how the writer, the songwriter, made the song. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. It's so good to see you here. You have no idea. When I see you here, I'm happy. Today we sing another song from the 70s, Stand By Me by John Lennon, and I devote this song to a very special Forever VIP. You know, right? Here we go.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
Now please, sing along. Listen to your voice singing in English. Share this class with your friends and comment here. What was John Lennon thinking when he wrote this song?
Yes, when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. 'Cause as long as you stand by me. What is he trying to say with this song? When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, I won't be afraid as long as you stand by me. This person is showing what? Comment here, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. We're talking about ways to understand the target audience of a text. We're talking about reading strategies. And when we talk about texts, it's easier to understand the topic because we have the language and we have the fonts, the keywords. If you see a colorful title, you imagine right away, I think this text is for kids. If you see one title talking about specific terms, you start thinking, well, maybe this is a research. If you see one image with a play button on it, you imagine that this is a video. If you see one book and the book is big, you imagine this book is for kids. By checking the signs, by checking the language, by checking the way the text is presented, we have an idea of what the text is about. When we read, we need to pay attention to these details. Who am I talking to? Who is this text trying to reach? Nowadays, when we search online, after our search, the internet starts to send us everything related to that topic. Why is that? It's because these websites are seeing us as potential customers, potential clients for that topic. If I'm searching for a watch, then I receive a lot of ads related to watches. And it's easy to recognize an ad. You see the name of the product, you see the price. This is an ad. Now tell me, what is your favorite kind of text? Do you prefer short texts or do you prefer books? Do you prefer to watch videos or to read? Reading is interesting because when we read, we create the images in our minds. Our imagination goes far. Enjoy your readings, my friend. I'm happy to see you here. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Yes. Oh, yeah. One more class. We're finishing one more class. And I count the minutes to see you here. I do my best to engage you during the class, to keep you here until we get to this point of the class, when we celebrate your growth. Please, a round of applause to you. Yes, yes, you're finishing one more class. Congratulations. I love to see your progress. I love to see you growing. One more class, one more step ahead, one more brick. Building your growth, improving your capacity to read better. This ability sometimes is underrated. The reading ability sometimes is forgotten. And I have to tell you, my friend, if you read well, you'll be powerful. Today, we learned how to understand the target audience of a warning inside a metro in Washington, D.C. We were walking around Washington, right? We visited the Lincoln Memorial. We had this experience there. And when you see this warning inside the metro in Spanish, in a country where the native language is English, why is it in Spanish? It was specific for the Latins, of course. One thing we need to mention is the importance of paying attention when you are reading a contract. When we have images, when we have context, it's easier to understand the message. We started the class talking about the cover of this book here. But when you are reading a contract, please pay attention. Once, one moment please. About 15 years ago, 15. Yeah, I think so. My wife, by that moment, my girlfriend, she came to me and said, You know, Felipe, and when she calls me Felipe, I stop because maybe there is trouble coming. But, you know, Felipe, I think I have the impression that you don't think about us in the long term. I told her, really? Why? And she said, you know, we are dating for years now, and we don't have anything solid. We don't have anything concrete. And I told her, okay, I'm saving money. I'd like to marry you, but we need to have something before we get married. Otherwise, I take you from your parents' home and I offer you no structure. We'll be in trouble, and I don't want that for us. And she told me, yes, but we should take the first step. I said, you were right. What if we buy a lot? What if we start by acquiring a piece of land? So then later we can build our home. She said, well, sounds good. Okay. Months later, we were buying a lot. And see the importance of paying attention. The contract, the purchase contract for that lot was like this, thick, a lot of paper. I have the contract here. This is the folder. This is the contract. See, contract. This is the contract for the lot we were buying. Check the number of pages. I was the first to sign, and I only did this. Didn't read until the last page. Look, man, look the size of this contract. It's insane. I didn't read. But luckily, luckily, Mary, my wife, read. And I remember as if it were today. My cell phone rang, it was her. I answered, hey love. And she said, did you read the contract on the part of the payments? Because we were paying month by month. We didn't have the money to buy upfront. We would pay monthly. And she said, did you read the contract? The part of the contract related to the payments? I said, no, I didn't read. I just saw that we're going to pay this amount. I pay 50% and you pay 50%. And she said, listen to me. There is an interest rate. And I said, I know, it's 1%. It's 1%, I know. She said, listen to me. It's 1% a month. And it's compounded interest. I said, okay, no problem. She said, okay, love, The maximum I can spend is the amount that I am giving in this month. This payment will increase. And I said, no problem. If it increases, I can cover it. She said, okay. We hung up, and you can imagine the future of this story. When the months were passing, the money needed to pay the monthly bill was increasing. And it increased a lot. And I had to borrow some money to pay the whole bill because the interests that she was mentioning were adding a lot of money to that bill. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because during this class, I was presenting you strategies to read and understand texts better. Because the structure of texts help us understand what that thing is about. But sometimes we need to pay close attention to the texts we are reading. When you are signing a contract, please read carefully. Contracts don't have images. Sometimes they have images to describe the things that you are buying, but the most important parts of contracts are purely made of words. And sometimes these words are very little. La letra chica, as our Spanish speakers say. So, pay attention when you're reading. If you have questions, we are here to serve you. You can come to this platform. Thank you very much. I'm Felipe Dib. See you next class.